Welcome everybody from my heart, from my love to everybody. Pranams. So today I'm going to talk about the practical aspect of self-inquiry. After all, self-inquiry is all about practice. So that's what I'm going to talk about. Practice. What are the technique, the method which is used? After all, what good is self-inquiry is all about if it's just about reading other people's experiences. If you don't have your own uh, things to work around with self-inquiry. So practice is most important. Theory has its place, but practice should come number one in self-inquiry. So I'm going to talk something about practice. First of all, let me just give you a little example. Let us assume or presume that you find that there is a possible oil well next to your backyard. There's a piece of land that you have, and in that piece of land, you feel that you get an information that there is a possible oil well or oil field. So what are you going to do? You're going to take the shovel and start digging, right, to get that oil out of it, isn't it? That's what self-inquiry is. You start digging into yourself. Start drilling inside yourself. And you take the shovel and you start digging inside the oil field. What happens is after a few weeks or months of drilling and digging, you find that there is some oil which is coming out of that land. So what do you do after that? Do you sit thinking that the oil is going to come out on its own, or you start digging more? Of course, you start digging more, isn't it? A normal, sensible person would do that. If he's commercially intelligent, he would do this, isn't it? That's what you have to do. You have to start diving deeper. That's what I'm trying to say. Dive deeper. Don't just remain in that sense of beingness. Dive. Pick up your mind, bring the void here into the heart, and start diving downwards. That's what sinking is. Sinking means you're diving. Deliberate sinking has to take place. You have to deliberately bring your mind to your heart area or to the navel, whichever it is, and you start to sink downwards. See, remaining in the sense of I amness is also a method where you bring the mind back again to a sense of I amness again and again. But it's a slightly slower process. But when you're sinking deliberately, then your progress, you will see your progress, how fast you're going to make the progress. It's a rapid force of going into your sense of beingness. It's a rapid process. Yeah. So you bring the method that you bring the void here, which is with the void ahead of you, and you bring it to your heart or to your navel, and you start sinking from there. You just don't remain. Remaining in the sense of I amness have few other problems also in practical meditation. When you actually sit for meditation, you will realize that the mind is going into various kind of thoughts. It is not going to just remain in one place. And you are going to only attempt to bring the mind back to your sense of I amness when you're just remaining there. So what happens is, after some time, you'll find it very boring. You'll say, all I'm doing is just bring the mind back again to the sense of beingness again and again, again and again. It's going to get very boring. And then what happens is, the mind needs to do something. So all it can think about is going into various kinds of thoughts. But when you do deliberate sinking, you give the mind some work to do. You tell it to do, okay, this is the direction, you have to go and do this. Thereby, you treat thought in a lot of way. You don't let it indulge into thoughts. You actually force the mind to do something which you want to do, not that it will, it just, you don't allow it to go into various kind of thoughts or indulge into thoughts. That is why you must practice this deliberate thinking, which I'm saying. Other people who are slightly more advanced would prefer to remain in the sense of I amness because it gives them a sense of comfort. They're very comfortable being there. And that comfort is too soon. You must not be here to be comfortable. At least not with me and Edgy around. We can't make you comfortable so soon. We are supposed to make you uncomfortable. A teacher who tries to make you comfortable too soon is not a good teacher. See? So you have to bring the mind, you give it work to do. I know it is mental effort. I know it's deliberate mental effort. It is not so natural. I know all that. I've been through all this also. It's not natural, I know. But then you have to work hard for it. You just don't remain there. Even advanced students should not just remain in the sense of, in their attained sense of beingness, but they should dive more deeper, go more, sink more downwards from this area of the heart and start. So, how do you do this sinking business? How do you do this technique, which I say is one of the most potent, one of the most effective method of in the process of self-inquiry? What you do is to make it a little more natural. You can do some visualization. Try and visualize that from this area of the heart or from the navel, you are actually descending down, either through a staircase or by an elevator. You're coming down, you're going downwards, slowly and slowly. You have to visualize that. And it's not going to be very difficult then. Visualization will help you to really sink deeper. So try visualizing yourself going downwards. Either you can visualize that you can also visualize that you are like that kind of feather and which is going downwards slowly, slowly, floating in the air and going downwards. When you close your eyes, you can visualize that. See, it's not going to be very difficult if you do that. Or like a helium balloon, which again floats downwards. This visualization will keep the mind centered to the object, and it can facilitate sinking much better rather than just doing it on your own. So try this visualizing exercises, which I've told you. Any of them you can choose. Stick to one method which you feel, or you can modify it according to what you feel. Those method, I mean that visualization. You can keep visualize anything you want, but the only idea is try and sink. That's all. There are some people or some seekers who have a more, there is more centered here onto the Agya chakra. They still cannot bring the mind to the heart or to the navel downwards. And for them, sinking is a huge effort because all these years they have practiced this particular point. For them also, there's another technique which is as good and as effective, as potent as the sinking, which is called as a falling backwards method. You can again visualize that there is a void behind of you here and you're falling into it. Thereby, you go from here to here and you fall from there. You can imagine layers of voids, layers and layers of voids behind you. And you keep falling backwards. You also do not center it only to this point. Don't. Imagine or visualize the whole body going backwards. Remember this. Slowly you have to visualize that the entire body is going backwards and you are falling backwards. Body is remaining there. What I mean to say, you are going falling backwards entirely. So this is the way these two techniques can be used as a very potent force in the process of self-inquiry. Some key pointers I have to tell you as a technique to use this as a technique. First thing is before you do the sinking or the falling backward method, the first important thing is you have to relax. First only. I'm trying to make any of this technique to be more natural, easy for you, right? So relax. Thing you can do is before you just sat for your formal meditation, you can tense your entire body a few times, take a deep breath, tense the entire body and let loose. Then tense, relax, tense, relax, tense, relax. That way you center yourself, the energies, inside of you, just tense it, completely tense all the energy and then let go, relax. That way you can try to do that. And then you do the sinking and the falling backward method, either of the one. One of the best ways to do sinking is to first listen to the Edgy's guided meditation on the emptiness. That's one of the wonderful ways to do that. Just go through that entire where he tells each and very body part to tense and relax. That's wonderful. Do that. After you have done that, you do this sinking or the falling backward method. It will help very much to do this. You have to understand the second point I am trying to make in this, the pointer is one-pointedness. If you choose one technique out of the two, you stick to one only. Don't try and mix, okay, today I fall down, then I'm going to go backwards. Don't do that. One-pointedness is the key to dive deeper. Use only one method. Only one. Give it a try for like say 2 months, 3 months. See how it goes. But it's important to be just one-pointed. As students and as children, we used to play these games of bringing the sun rays into one magnifying glass. You remember? Bringing the sun rays into one magnifying glass. And then, we used to hold that paper within, below it. And we would see, oh, the paper has, it's burnt. How? How did that happen? Because the sun rays is scattered into various directions, you have given it a center and brought it into one point. And from that point, tremendous energy is developed, is generated, which burns that paper. Same thing we have to do. We bring the entire energy of the mind, entire energies inside of us, center it by diving deeper, either going downwards, sinking, or falling backwards. You center it and just see how it happens, how the trick works. Many years people are remaining in the sense of I amness only and not much great progress is made. They say we are saying in the I amness, I am feeling so relaxed, so relaxed, so relaxed. Very, very good. But that relaxation is leading you to sleep only after that. Sleep is an hindrance to deep meditation. So preparation is very important first. You have to prepare. This one-pointedness of doing some work will prepare the mind. It will make your mind subtle, it will make it powerful. Thereby you generate tremendous power to penetrate deeper. It gives you the dharana power, samadhi power. And then you try and focus with that entire power downwards. And you will see the result. Do you remember I had given another example of that block of ice? That ice converts into the water and the water becomes steam, and then it disappears. That's how it happens. Due to the power one pointedness, power is generated, and then the mind becomes subtle, 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 and then it disappears. That's what happens. It is scientific, which I am telling you. It is not belief. Try it, and you will see the results soon. After you have done this process of sinking or falling backwards, then it is a time to remain. Then it is a time to remain. You have worked entirely. Now it is time for you to rest. So then you kind of remain in that sense of I amness, accumulate them. At that moment, you are not willing anything. At that moment, you are not expecting anything. You are not centering you to any point, nothing. You are just relaxing and just leaving, letting go of everything that is there. You're not even thinking, you're not even giving thoughts. Let the mind go anywhere it wants to go. So remaining comes there after that. After you've done the sinking, you remain. So first, sinking is going to tense you, and then you're going to relax. Tense and relax. Unless you have tensed yourself completely, you cannot completely relax also. So first you tense and then you relax. One word of caution is this, that you have to know the difference between tensing yourself and straining yourself. So that you have to find out yourself. Don't overdo anything. If you feel that 10 minutes sinking I have done, or 15 minutes, 20 minutes, slowly build it up to 30 minutes. Do not overdo it with the excitement that, oh, I'm going to get better results faster with this. It's not going to help that way. So you find your own time, your comfort zone of doing your sinking, and then you decide, okay, now I have to just remain in this sense. But try to do this as far as you can do, slowly increasing the time, either sinking or backward, falling backwards. The techniques are completely harmless. There is no problem in this technique. These techniques are not my techniques. Of course, you know that it is derived from Edgy's Hunting the Eye, which is a perfect manual of self-inquiry. It's completely safe. I have just modified slightly here according to the need of the seeker, giving the person a direction, my students a direction, and they have got fabulous results very soon. 3 months, if you practice this religiously, you will attain states, good states you will attain, good levels of consciousness you will attain in relatively short time. One of my students have attained great stillness of the mind in just 3 days. Just 3 days. So if you are one pointed and if you are perseverance and dedicated, then I'm sure that 3 months and within 3 to 4 months you will attain very good progress in these techniques by the use of this method and technique, either of the 2 months. They're completely, as I said, they're completely safe. The technique is not a problem at all. They do not have to deal with pranayamas and those kumbhaks which comes in the yoga system. It transcends all those. You have to only watch your own overexcitement. Don't get overexcited about it. That's all. Like one of my students, she achieved stillness of the breath. She realized that her breath has actually come down so much that it has actually stopped in between. That has happened because she practiced this sinking, and she just got, there was a tremendous joy in her face. And then she got up and she said, wow, I achieved this. I achieved this. And then she called me up. She said, Ajivji, it was wonderful. My breath completely stopped. I didn't feel any need to take breath in. I said, yeah, that's going to happen. I said, very good. Keep it up. After a few days of practice, she again calls me and says, Ajivji, I'm feeling miserable. I said, now what happened? She says, because the breath doesn't stop now. That's the problem. Don't do this mistake. The idea is not to stop your breath. You watch over this over exuberance. What I mean to say is the technique itself is safe, but you don't have to, whatever the result you get out of that, don't try to get results from your own by forcing it yourself. It is going to happen on its own. All these things are going to happen, whatever is states that are attainments that I talk about and where everything disappears is all going to happen. But you are not going to make anything happen. You cannot drop that. It will automatically drop. So watch out for all this. Be cautious on this. And in case you feel that you are having some, there are some energies which are having some major pressure is coming here or on the chest or anywhere, then in that case, you can contact me or Edgy through mail or call us and we will tell you what we have to do. But the best is to avoid the tendency to get quicker results. Remember this. Even though this is very fast, still watch over your own excitement. Right? So that's all. I have spoken about the technique. Now it's upon you how you do this. I have given one of the most fast and methods which Edgy has given in his through his hunting the eye, and use this for your progress. I wish you all the best. Pranam.